Hello, this is Dr. J back with some more Let's Play Command and Conquer. We are now going to do the other variation of GDI Mission 10 with the Orcas, the harder variation. And I think I'm coming down with something because I'm starting to feel kind of fatigued and my throat is kind of sore, but we're not going to let that stop us from kicking Nod butt. I will be skipping videos because they're exactly the same for this mission as they were for the other one. Alright, so like I've been saying, this is going to be harder because we don't have access to much Tiberium here. Got a little bit there. And there should be a little bit over there, yes. Seems that there is. Ridges to the south of us where the enemy is going to try to take cheap pot shots at our units. At our base, I mean. Get out of the way. Oh crap. Those guys were supposed to take out the turret. Okay. Luckily the enemy ignored them. No, don't fight in the Tiberium field. We don't have enough of it as it is. Well, this is a bit of a mess. Now the Rocketeers are going for my tanks. Some early enemy aggression, making things interesting for us. Alright, that's one turret down. That one was so close to my base I didn't want to wait for the Orcas to take it out. Alright, I might not even get a second refinery. That is how tight money is going to be in this mission. Let's see. I'm certainly going to want some defense. And I think a guard tower will be the most economical way of accomplishing that. So one thing I forgot to mention when we did the last version of this mission is General Shepard in the briefing tells us, you and Colonel Morelli take out a couple of the Orcas and see what you can scout up. Now, as a child, and of course being very foolish, as children are, I interpreted that a little too literally. I thought that the mission objective was actually to scout with the Orcas. And so when I built Orcas, I expected to be able to fly them around the map and uncover all kinds of fog of war. Imagine my disappointment when I discovered that Orcas in flight, in fact, cannot uncover anything. And that even when you land them, they only uncover a teeny tiny little area of fog of war around them. I was very confused by this and was like, wait a minute, the Orcas are absolutely worthless as scouts, which first of all makes no sense because they're flying in the air, why can't they see anything? And secondly, why on earth would they design a mission where you're supposed to use these units to scout, and they can't scout for anything? So yes, I was very confused by all that. Of course, now being older and wiser, I understand that scout means destroy all of the enemy's base and all their units. Which is not the normal definition of scout, but it's what it means in this game. Because pretty much every mission is all about destroying the enemy base and units. This guard tower is doing some work. Okay, it may have difficulty against the enemy flame troopers, though. And we lost our guard tower. That is not good. We do not have enough spare money that we can afford to just lose and rebuild. Wow, got hit by that bug twice in a row. Okay, the flame troopers are still alive, despite having gotten hit by a guard tower about 1,000,000 times. I'm not happy about this. How is this guy not dead? This is unbelievable. He's gonna kill the tank. Please kill him! Freaking ridiculous. Fine. Huge waste of money, but if that's what it's going to be, I'm going to make 2 guard towers. That should be enough to take out their stupid flame troopers. Would expect an anti-infantry turret to do better against infantry. Okay, apparently I had already hurt that one and forgot that I did so that's great. Oh boy. This mission's off to a great start.
Building.
Unit, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I have them on separate control groups this time so I can soften up multiple turrets at once more easily without having to scroll back to my base to select them.
Unit reporting. Moving out. Vehicle reporting. Affirmative, yes, sir.
Got some funky jungle groove going on here. It looks like this version of the game, with its extra tracks, in fact, does not have the like weird, exotic, foreign-sounding music track that I was thinking of, which is too bad because it's pretty cool. I like it.
Building.
It's a bit odd, but several of the tracks in this game are a bit odd, so that shouldn't be disqualifying.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Man, that is a lot of turrets. Alright, so these four should all be nice and softened up. I'll go ahead and start destroying them with my next sorties.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Oh,
Base is
here comes the enemy to play again.
Vehicle reporting.
A couple of Nod buggies should not accomplish much.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Alright, and one by one they fall. It's going to take us longer to get the funds we need with only a single refinery, but I mean, look what we've got to work with. Refineries cost 2,000 credits. That is a non-trivial amount of money
Yes, sir.
that we would have to throw at it to get our income to come in a little faster. Income to come in, good lord. The repetitive Department of Redundancy over here. Now there is more Tiberium up here, but that's going to be a heck of a journey to get that stuff, because our harvesters will have to go all the way around that ridge line.
Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think this is the version of the mission that I played as a child too. I think. It kind of looks more familiar to me than the other version that we played.
new construction.
And so that was kind of nasty. We are absolutely using NG drop on this mission. We have so few resources at our disposal that just building a straight up assault force it would be really hard to make that work. That said, I do seem to recall that the enemy base in this version of the mission has a pretty conspicuous vulnerability.
Building.
We will absolutely be exploiting that.
Yes, sir.
Unit ready.
Yes, sir.
Alright, soften that one up.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
Send our Humvee on more scouting.
Acknowledged.
Okay.
Moving out.
Construction
Yes,
complete.
sir.
Alright, now let's start building whatever kind of assault force we can muster with the funds available to us.
Affirmative.
Harvesting more slowly also gives this blossom tree a little bit more time to produce Tiberium over there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It won't make a large difference because blossom trees generate Tiberium at a painfully slow rate, but, you know, it might be a little extra. Yet another turret there.
Construction complete.
Moving out.
We certainly are going to want to destroy all these turrets, just in case the mission drags on long enough we need to start harvesting this Tiberium up here.
Acknowledged.
Oh, here comes an enemy artillery.
Affirmative. Yes, sir.
Okay. Morelli, go soften up that turret there. Your voice has gotten awfully deep, Morelli. Smoking's not good for you, you know?
Acknowledged. Moving out. Moving out. Moving out. Affirmative. Acknowledged.
More Tiberium up here. It's not that there's no Tiberium, it's just that the lush Tiberium fields are so far away. But if we have to, we can always sandbag, crawl up to them, and build some refineries right up next to them. We've done that once before already.
Building.
I don't like having to do that because it's very boring
Yes, sir.
doing sandbag crawling, but it is an option.
Yes,
This artillery's got it in for us, but he's incredibly slow.
Moving out. Moving out. Affirmative.
Okay, so here's the vulnerability of the enemy base.
Moving out.
Well, first of all, this is the path that they're taking to go all the way around to put artillery there to try to shell our base from the ridgeline. But the vulnerability is that the front entrance with 2 turrets and an obelisk is here, but you can actually slip by, and this whole southern wall is undefended. So if we can exploit that, we won't have to bother taking tons of damage from the obelisk. We'll just ease our guys around here, take some pot shots from the turret, but that's okay. Blast through the southern wall, and look, the enemy's construction yard is right there. So that's the saving grace that makes this mission not too excruciating, even with the paucity of funds available. Alright, we've got an actual flanking attack from 2 sides coming in, so let's do something about that. Okay, these guys are being smart and just doing an end run around the guard tower. Wonder if my Humvee can get off some cheap shots on these guys. Oh, nice. Nice kill. Can you get that guy? Excellent. Man, the enemy's still chasing him down. They are really angry at this Humvee. Oh, have they given up? Oh, goodness. Also, the really lush Tiberium is right outside the enemy's base. That seems all kinds of unfair. I do not want a sandbag crawl all the way up here to put a refinery near to this Tiberium. Whatever little additional forces we can get from this pathetic patch, we might have to try to make do with that. As sad as that is. Let's see what happens. I was going to say, let's see what happens when we try to send orcas against moving targets, but that artillery's not moving, so... They might be able to get that one. I don't know if it'll be out of range of the SAM site. Orcas can take a single hit from a SAM site, but 2 will take one out, I think, if I'm remembering damage values correctly. Oh, this may be the end of our hero Humvee. Oh, within range. Alright, get out of there. They took out the artillery, so good enough. Might be able to pick off that one as well. We are not going to be able to muster much of an attack force, are we? 6 tanks isn't nothing, but it's not much. Maybe build some minigunners for anti-infantry. Ordinarily, I prefer Humvees because they're fast. They can keep up, but funds being what they are, we may not have that luxury. You know things are tight when Humvees count as a luxury. Alright, that'll be our main thrust. Got an infantry squad coming down to say hi. Guard towers should be able to deal with that. Let's pick off this artillery. Nice. Mass infantry, by the way, are one way of dealing with obelisks, because although the obelisk laser blast is incredibly powerful, it charges pretty slow and only targets one thing at a time. Which means a horde of weak units are pretty ideal for dealing with it based on its attack characteristics. Great. That's it for our Tiberium supplies. Now he's going to have to start harvesting this patch up here, and oh, good lord, that's so far away it'll take forever. I do a lot of accidental scrolling.
Unit ready. Building. Unit
No,
ready.
get up there. Time to harvest this.
Building.
Hopefully the enemy won't take advantage of the opportunity to get cheap shots on our harvester. Okay, well, here we go. Kind of a pathetic attack force, but... Oh, actually. What is this little patch of Tiberium doing here? That's so random. Let's hope our infantry don't wander through it like idiots. Now, if we squeeze around here, we'll take hits from the turret, but nothing too bad, I don't think. We'll have to babysit and micromanage our guys to get them to not behave in a really stupid way. Then move them over to the east and breach the enemy wall here. Oh my god, no! Don't lose all my infantry to this! Jeez! I take my eyes off my guys for 2 seconds and complete disaster ensues. They're just utterly incapable of acting intelligently without constant babysitting. It's ridiculous. Look at that. Huge damage from like one flippin' flame guy just because I took my eyes off them for a few seconds. So ridiculous. Can't believe it. They're so damaged that 2 of them went down to a turret. Ridiculous.
Vehicle reporting. Yes, sir. Moving out.
I really have to just do these guys one at a time. If I send them in mass, they're just going to take this huge meandering path and get wiped out by the obelisk. I think the obelisk is better balanced than the Tesla coil. I think it's actually important that it has that weakness to mass infantry. Even if we don't end up exploiting that weakness very much, the Tesla coil in Red Alert has a different firing characteristic where it can adjust its charge time based on the strength of its target. Okay, great, we completely lost a tank. We'd be taking much heavier casualties if we were trying to breach the front door, so even with the damage we're taking, this is the better play. But what that basically means is the Tesla can rapid fire against infantry and take out 3 of them at a time. Makes it a little too strong in my opinion. I think you're lying to me, Eva. Okay. Not much of an anti-infantry force, not much of an anti-armor force. We're relying really heavily on our NG rush here. I should have saved up money for being able to rapid deploy a barracks and an engineer. Well, we can always sell off like our war factory, or I mean our weapons factory or something if we have to. Okay, time for operation break through the back door. As long as we only target the walls, we won't alert the enemy to our presence. Okay, well, so much for that. I stopped controlling my guys for 2 seconds and they start targeting enemy buildings, which is going to anger the enemy. Though it hasn't done so yet. Okay, back off, guys, back off. Alright, now destroy the SAM site because it's in our way. Alright, if we can get their construction yard. No, no, unload! I wasn't kidding. The order wasn't optional. Unload it, jerk. Not freaking kidding around. Okay. This is going to be messy. Actually, did I finish the engineer? Did I click on the engineer? Oh my god. I didn't mean to click on that! I meant to click on the... Ugh. What a mess. I meant to click on the barracks. Was I just derping? I guess I was just derping out. Or it was a misclick. Didn't even realize it. Anyway, we're in the back. No, 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 no. What are you idiots doing? You're all gonna die. Well, so much for my plan. Because my men are too stupid to carry it out, I guess. The whole idea was to go through the back, morons. Nope, they want to wander around the front and all die to the obelisk. Okay, fine. If that's what you want to do. I won't stop you. Darwin Awards for everybody. The combination of me derping a bit and the abysmal AI is causing this plan to be a complete mess. What else can I capture? Airstrip looks pretty vulnerable. I should definitely take out the enemy's power. Come on, get him, get him, get him. Alright, that was almost a double KO, but... if he approaches from here, he might be able to get an airstrip before the obelisk takes him out. Alright. I think we've salvaged this. It was a bit of a disaster when the pathing on my tanks caused them to all go around the front and all get killed by the obelisk, but... seems like we are going to salvage a win out of this after all. Okay, everybody's getting squished. Lovely. Hopefully the obelisk is offline after all the power I've destroyed. Good grief. Our power is really borderline. Alright, the enemy tank is down. Situation is now under control.
Construction complete. Building. Unit ready.
You know, you're just gonna die to the turrets, so maybe you should pull back.
Building. Unit lost. Unit ready. Unit lost.
All these guard towers, and they're accomplishing nothing. Their range is kind of pathetic.
Building. Unit ready. Building.
Where are they going now? Who knows?
Not building captured. Unit ready.
Alright.
Building.
I think a grenadier squad to
Ready.
rapidly finish off enemy buildings.
Building. Unit ready. Building. Unit
I may regret this when one grenadier explodes and takes out the entire squad, but...
building captured.
alright. Finally, I think this mission's in the bag. Back to mop up.
Building. Unit ready. Building. Unit ready. Building.
Okay, fine. Just ignore the guys that came out of the building. They're not important. There.
Building.
Honestly, the AI in this game.
Building. Unit ready.
All of you, please. Don't wander through the Tiberium. Oh, my kingdom for men that aren't complete idiots. Hardly anything left to even capture. Actually, you know what? Sure. The comm center, then we'll sell it and we'll break even on the cost.
Not building captured.
And get a few men out of it, so I guess better than break even. Look how long it takes 5 grenadiers to take out a SAM site. They'll get there eventually. Now, SAM sites ought to go down when the enemy's power is offline, but for some reason they're randomly self-powered. Why SAM sites can power themselves and other buildings can't, I have no idea. Seems like a strange design decision, but that's the way it works. Alright, we did it. I got a little irritated when my attack was being chaotic and disastrous for a variety of reasons, but in the end, looks like we're pulling out a win.
Accomplished.
I think I really could have done this. I think I really could have done this and the other mission in a single video, but no big deal. So that is going to be it for GDI for at least a few missions. We're finally going to be going back to Nod. I've been looking forward to this just for the variety. So, hopefully you'll join me for that, and I will see you then.